Most anglers know that if you're serious about your fishing outings, you should be using a new, strong, dependable fishing line. But with all the fishing lines that are on the market made out of different material, how do you choose the right line for the type of fishing you're going to be doing? If you're casting in fresh water and you're using hard body plugs like crankbaits and also spinners and so on, you want a line that'll give you good casting distance, that's low diameter, so that your lure achieves the right running depth. And you also want a line that you can get a very good hook set, because when a fish grabs that artificial lure, it'll know it's not real and it'll drop it right away. So you need to set the hook as soon as the fish hits. This is where you should be using a braided line that's very limp. Braided line has no memory. That means that if your line stays on your spool, whether it's a bait caster or a spinning reel, it won't coil. If you're a trolling fisherman, braided line is also ideal if you're long line trolling. Because there's no stretch, even if you have 300 feet of line out and you get a strike, when you set the hook, you get a very good hook set. On the other hand, if you are fishing a finesse technique, you really want to use a monofilament line that has some flexibility in it. The stretch is very important if you're fishing lighter line, both for steelhead and trout, because when a fish fights violently, scraps on the surface or comes flying out of the water, there'll be enough stretch so that the hook won't pull out. Fluorocarbon lines are ideal if you're fishing in colder water conditions where the water's clear and you have to use a very finesse presentation. Now, I'm not talking about fluorocarbon leader material, I'm talking about fluorocarbon casting lines that are a little bit softer and limper, so you can actually use them to fish with, not just for a tippet. The fluorocarbon lines are totally invisible, and even though they might be a little bit bigger diameter than a braided line, they're a little bit stiffer, and they're ideal if you use different techniques like a drop shot rig or a wacky worm rig, where you want to fish those plastics really slow to get even the most inactive fish to strike. There's an excellent excuse to get more fishing outfits. One set up for braid, one for monofilament, and one for a fluorocarbon casting line. Then you're ready for any situations to catch big fish.